two Weasleys are better than one. Would you please welcome James and Oливer Fhelps to Mix 94.5. Good to see you in Perth for the first time, boys.
Thank you very much.
Now, you kids were in all of the Harry Potter movies. How much money did you make? Because I know that, Harry made a lot of money.
Yeah, I did a little better than if I had a paper round for that amount of time.
That's true.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
So how does it work? Like you do one movie and then you go, I'll sign another contract? Or do they just lock you in?
No, it kind of went like every 2 films, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a rolling thing. So because when we did we signed up for the first 2, and no one knew whether it was going to go on to be what it was. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty lucky to be where we were.
Do you remember your audition for that process? I mean, you were boys, you were so young. Like, you remember what happened and having no idea that it would be that big a deal?
Yeah, totally. It was the audition actually coincided with it was an open audition first of all, and it was in a big hotel, and they were auditioning for every single part in the film.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
So Daniel Radcliffe is in the line with you?
He wasn't at the one we were at, because there were 2. There was one in Leeds and one in London.
Right.
And we were the one in Leeds, but it was the first time I'd ever seen like a show mom. Oh, no, you must see my daughter, like pushing it, like basically kicking her through the door.
Yeah.
And then we went down. It was like a sliding doors moment. You could either go door on the left, door on the right, and we went door on the left, which turned out to be the head casting director in there.
Oh,
and
what's wrong with that?
Yeah, it worked out really well. Then we had about 3 or 4 more meetings with the director and the producer, and got a call out of the blue saying, "Do you want to be in the film?" It was good.
That's pretty cool.
We're like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then your mum pushed you forward and went, they do.
Yeah.
It's funny because we have a he who must not be named here. Sorry, his name's Shane. He's just over here. He's no Voldemort. But some incredible actors you got to work with, your Alan Rickmans and that. But the list is like British royalty as far as acting's concerned. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
very much so. We're very, very lucky. And what was really cool is that they're all really nice guys as well. Like, if you just wanted to just have a chat or even ask about certain things, what to do, how to prepare for a certain scene, they're all very encouraging for you to come and ask them to pass on your knowledge. So
That's very cool.
we never went to drama school, but I think we had pretty good teachers in that job.
Absolutely. And when you began filming the first one, you're like 5'5" in an old speak, and you're about 6'3" at the end, yeah?
Yep. Yeah.
Did they have you acting in a trench for a couple of the movies?
Not really. There was...
Because Daniel Radcliffe, is he like a pixie?
He isn't as tall as
I was going to say
Dan,
we.
yeah.
I think you'll see as the films go on, we progressively get towards the back of, like, if there's ever a big huddle of everyone, we're normally always at the back at the end, towering in, looking over.
I can remember a scene in the second film. We were it was in the Great Hall, and Snape is showing the class how to duel.
Yeah.
And we're standing at the back, and they gave a few of the guys at the front. They're called like little pancakes, so basically blocks to stand on.
Oh.
Because we'd obviously hit a growth spurt in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy working with a sibling? I think I would enjoy it because you don't have to be as tender with a sibling. Like, you can say what you think and they'll generally forgive you. So did you find it easier or harder?
It's pretty good because then we don't need to see each other outside of work, which is... It's cool. Just mainly because you could share the experiences of what we have. Like, for example, coming to Perth now, we can share it with another member of the family. So, which is also good because then if we go home and mum and dad ask what have we been up to, the other one can always remember more.
Yeah.
Normally he can remember more than I can. So, yeah.
So when you got cast, you were like 14.
Yeah,
14. Weren't you?
Yeah.
Did you guys care about magic? Were you magic fans? And, you obviously ended up with a magic trick shop in the movies.
I can remember watching it, and I've seen it like a lot of close hand magicians, but I've never really thought about doing it myself.
Yeah.
It was quite very clearly at one of the premieres they had a guy came over who was doing really close hand magic. He put everyone to shame, really, like when you talk about what we did, magic.
Yeah.
And then it's totally different.
Well, you've got such a fan base. It's unfortunate one of you died. Which one was it?
Spoiler alert. Yeah, that was that was me. Yeah, James.
So is that hard? You see your brother, he's dead, pasty, and I'm sure like you go, oh my god, I'm gonna have to act.
Yeah, it was a bit odd because you have to try and make it real, as it were. So you've got to try and put yourself in that position if it was, which was a weird day filming because I thought it would be a closed set, meaning there would be the guys on shot. And the director in the Great Hall, but instead it was the whole Great Hall was filled with people.
Oh, really?
And I'm there crying like a little girl.
Yeah.
But that was it, and then we went to lunch and everything else. But I've seen someone spoke to me afterwards and said, like at one of these events, and said, "Oh, is it true that you hugged each other and said how much you loved each other afterwards?"
No.
No way.
It's just a job, babe.
How easy is it to act dead? Like, you've got to make sure you're not, I see
don't
these
squirm.
real poor deaths where you can see the guy breathing.
He's a bit nervous.
I spent long and hard practicing my technique.
Of being dead.
Yeah, actually in rehearsals I fell asleep and they left me on
That's
stage,
good.
which is but yeah, in rehearsal and when you're actually shooting, like you say, it's just a matter of not moving
Not moving.
anything. It's not about
Not
like staying
blinking.
stiff like a board, but just
Limp.
yeah,
Relaxing.
exactly. Yeah.
Hey, what's worse, your brother dying on screen or your sister marrying Harry?
Oh God. Well, he didn't. I suppose when they got together, because that was an awkward scene to film as well. When Dan and Bonnie were kissing.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like overplaying the whole, almost like a Roger Rabbit type thing in the background, like tweaking over. I'd say that was probably be worse. I would have thought.
Yeah.
I can understand.
Now, I have a couple of questions here from our listeners on Facebook. Alfreda asks, did you at all change roles during the movies? Or, like, did you each play Fred or George, or did you stick to your character the whole time? And Natasha asked, were you able to choose which twin you could be?
Well, first of all, we didn't know. We rocked up for before you do a film, you do a read through, so everyone in the cast reads the script all together, and it's also to judge how long the film will be. Mm-hmm. So we turn up, and we just knew that we were going to be Fred and George. We didn't know who. So he said to Janet, the casting director, "Who's who then?" And she was like, "Oh, good one." I was like, "No, really, who's who?" So she went away and spoke to David and Chris, the director and the producer, and she came back and said, "James, you're Fred, Oliver, you're George." So I like to think that there was a huge corporate board meeting in LA where they sat down. Whereas probably it's just like you.
Yeah, whoever will do it.
The one on the left can be Fred. Yeah.
So, do gingers have more fun? Because obviously you don't have red hair. What's it like? It looks good on screen.
It was interesting turning up to school one day with ginger hair, bleached eyebrows. It kind of became normality, though. Really, I suppose at that age you don't really give two hoots what you look like. So, I suppose I didn't really notice a difference in it. To be honest.
But the fans look at you and they go, "Hey,
oh yeah,
where's the hair?"
Yeah, a few do.
look
Yeah,
different.
a few have even said you've lied to me.
Oh, really?
And I've said,
They
we
feel
didn't-
betrayed.
I
They're
said,
all
we
the
didn't actually-
gingers.
We didn't actually fly a broomstick as well. But
No, that's Harry
never
Potter
mind.
fans, mate.
Yeah.
They're obsessed.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that. It is an incredible fandom, isn't it? that
Yeah,
they
it
have?
really is, and it's. I mean, we're fortunate to be able to go all over the world, and people know who we are and talk about it and engage in it so much. Which is the cool thing about coming to Supernova and meeting everyone at Perth, because how often do we get to do that?
Yeah, well, also the age of your fan base will be changing with you. So they could be anything from still very young to like women. You know, like
To me, I'm a fan. I can't wait for this interview to be over so I can get an autograph.
you got to pay for these things, Shane. You got to pay for an autograph.
You guys are twins. I want to put you to a test. Now, James, I want you to think of a number between 1 and 10.
Yep.
Okay, Oliver, what numbers are you thinking of?
3.
No.
Fail. Epic fail. If you call them Fred and George, it might work. You know what I'm saying? Are you good guys mates with Daniel and Emma and Rupert? Do you spend any time together now, or is it they off doing their thing?
Well, we actually played golf with Rupert last week before we flew
cool.
out here. Yeah, so we're still pretty good mates. Then another guy, Alfie, who was Dean Thomas in the film. We play in the same cricket team.
Right.
So yeah, we all still mingle, and it's essentially like when you go to school, you make all these mates in your class, and then when you go away, obviously you've got different jobs, but you still meet up every so often.
Do you feel sad about it ending? Because it's almost done.
It was a little bit. I mean, it kind of went at the right time, though.
Yeah.
There was such hysteria really about it coming to an end. There was the final premiere in London was how many thousands? Like 70,000 people or something
Wow.
ridiculous.
This
like,
hang on. This
everywhere.
grows every time he says this story.
What was it?
It's really one man and his dog.
Was it a million?
But-
Exaggerate.
It was the biggest red carpet ever in history.
Yeah.
It's
wow.
like nearly a mile long and
Yeah.
3/4 of a mile.
James is indicating the real size of the
Still
line.
And
Driveway.
it was amazing. Really, there were people who'd literally flying from all over the world to get to London and had camped outside for about 5 days.
There was actually a girl from Australia who flew in, went straight from Heathrow to Trafalgar Square, where the premiere was, camped out, saw the premiere, flew back the next day.
Wow.
So
That's unreal.
that was commitment, but I don't think I'd like to have been sitting next to her on the flight home.
No.
No.
You'll never guess what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's my stepdaughter, Gabby.
Yeah. Have you guys got any work on at the moment? Like, are you working in acting, and is it going to be weird to separate? Like, you want to do individual roles without being twins?
I actually did my first ever stage show at the start of this year,
cool.
which was on without Oliver, so that was pretty cool to do. And it's something I really enjoyed doing as well. So I've actually been asked by the same company to do another show for them at the end of the year. So
Great.
we've also been approached to do another movie starting in September, October. So if that finishes, then hopefully I can do the theatre as well.
So, James, you think he's been holding you back?
Yeah.
Oliver, lift your game, mate.
I'm just holding on. I'm just holding on all the way. Yeah.
Hey, guys, great to meet you. Good to have you on, and good luck at Supernova. It's going to be fun.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
How about Esco?
No, I'll have a couple of things.